I got to looking recently, and I actually have 102 common wild cards and 56 uncommon wild cards, and that was before making this deck. Obviously, I had more, yeah, I got to look at it. I have a lot, so I figured we could take a couple of days and just focus on some budget decks, right? Focus on some decks that are cheaper and still really, really fun. So before we go ahead and hop into what we're actually playing here today, I would like to remind everybody, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like down below and a comment in the comment section if you have any suggestions on this video, future videos, or past videos. Furthermore, if you're new here, consider subscribing. It is free. It's a great way to get an update every time I drop a video or go live, generally Tuesday through Thursdays, and it helps support the channel. Now, on into what we are actually playing here today. We have everything that is either a common or uncommon, or less. You know, it's pretty much as low as you can go in Magic. But kicking us off, we have 2 copies of Epic Downfall for some targeted removal of things that have 3 mana cost or greater. 4 copies of Glowspore Shaman, and this is going to help put cards into your graveyard. 2 copies of Gorging Vulture to also help with that, as well as gain you some life back and give you a flyer in the sky just in case you need one. Relentless Pursuit is a card that I'm actually testing out, and it seems to be fairly good so far. So what you're going to do is you're going to reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a creature and or a land card from among them into your hand and put the rest into your graveyard. So potentially for 3 you can draw a land and a creature, and then put, you know, potentially a land and a creature into your graveyard, or you could draw nothing and put everything into your graveyard if you so choose, or just draw land. So the versatility of it, I feel like, is really nice, and being able to dumpster 4 cards is also nice, as well as being able to potentially draw 2 cards if that's what you'd prefer. So, kind of a nice card. It's not going to help you draw your Blood for Bones or your Bond of Revivals or Cauldron's Gifts, but it is still very nice. Moving us down, speaking of which, we have Blood for Bones, Bond of Revival, and Cauldron's Gift to help us revive our creatures from the graveyard. 2 copies of Acolyte of Affliction to help us dumpster our cards from our library into our graveyard, and then we can return target permanent. So we dumpster our cards, and then we bring back a Molderhulk, which will ideally be kind of cheap, or if we can pay for it, we can bring back a Lotleth Giant if we're late into the game, or a Grey Merchant of Asphodel, and have a similar effect of entering the battlefield and really popping off or dealing, you know, a fair amount of damage. Moving us down, we have 2 copies of Deathsprout for some more targeted removal, as well as allowing you to ramp a little bit. Now, generally, when you have, or you're at this point of 4 mana, you are 1 away from the Bond of Revival, the Cauldron's Gift, the Grey Merchant, the Syr Konrad. A lot of this, like, really good stuff for your deck, right? So Deathsprout helps ensure that you get to that 5th mana, as well as being some removal. Bond of Revival, Cauldrons, we are going over Grey Merchant. We just have sort of sprinkled into the deck, and you'll notice Syr Konrad has double black Devotion. Grey Merchant obviously has double black Devotion. Glowspore Shaman has a single. Gorging Vulture has a single. Acolyte of Affliction has a single. So Lotleth, Molderhulk. You'll see there's a lot here, and since we're sort of basing our deck around reanimating things, we can play a Grey Merchant. It dies, and then we reanimate it, right? Get that effect a second time. So it's not meant to be the end-all be-all in this deck, as it is in other decks, but it is meant to be a nice little hit to your opponent's face while gaining you a little bit of life back. Moving us down, we have 2 copies of Syr Konrad, which are going to deal damage to our opponent every time a creature dies, or a creature card is put into a graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or a creature card leaves our graveyard. Syr Konrad is going to deal 1 damage to our opponent. Furthermore, we can pay 2 mana, and each player put the top card of the library into their graveyard, which can help us with our Cauldron's Gift and Bond of Revival and Blood for Bones. So, all that's fantastic. And then, of course, you have the top end Lotleth Giant, going to be able to come down and just deal that burst of damage, you know, 6, 7, 8 damage just from entering the battlefield and you having that many creatures in your graveyard. Beanstalk Giant can help you ramp, as well as being just a really, really solid body. It's an easy card to get back with your revival, and it's, you know, it's going to be solid into the late game. Now, obviously, the later and later it gets, the bigger and bigger it gets, and the harder it hits. Anyways, moving us down, we have 2 copies of Molderhulk, which, again, with more cards in your graveyard, becomes extremely cheap, and it's very solid, and it can return a land from your graveyard to your battlefield, which isn't, you know, isn't super over the top. But let's say you have the mana for Bond, or Blood for Bones, rather, right? And you get a Molderhulk back. then that can put you in the range for the Cauldron's Gift, Bond of Revival, all that good stuff as well. So a lot of neat little inner working synergies, and we are only using, you know, common or uncommon land. So I have the Jungle Hollows and the Golgari Guildgates. So we're keeping it very, very budget friendly, very, very new user friendly today. All that being said and out of the way, we're going to go and hop right into our matches. Jester 2355-4. What a name. Gonna be our first foe for the day. Wow, we don't really have a whole lot of lands here, but we have a Glowspore Shaman, so we can potentially hit more there into a Beanstalk or a Relentless Pursuit. Yeah, I kind of like it. So we go Guildgate first, and then Swamp, Glowspore, hopefully hit a land into a Relentless or a Beanstalk. Probably the Beanstalk, as it's guaranteed. Oh, or we could just draw into a land. That always works as well. Alright, Glowspore Shaman. Ooh, got rid of 2 Beanstalks and a Gray Merchant. Those will be handy to get back later. Okay, yeah, I think we do still go for the Beanstalk. It's guaranteed, whereas this is not. Yeah, let's go Beanstalk. I could go back and forth with it all day, but I think at the end of the day, that is it's the safer play. I won't say it's the better play, because depending on what we hit with Relentless was better. If we hit an untapped land, or hell, even a tap land there, it would have been better. But we drew into a Bond of Revival, so I'm not upset about it. And we can Blood for Bones right now and get a Beanstalk Giant back. Granted, it wouldn't be a very big Beanstalk Giant. We could if we wanted to. I can either go for another Glowspore. That doesn't guarantee give me a land drop, so I'm going to go for the Relentless Pursuit. I will take a Vulture in hand. That helps us mill ourselves a little bit more, and then some untapped lands, so that way we can play our Glowspore Shaman. So Relentless Pursuit actually doing some pretty good work there, just getting rid of 2 lands that we otherwise would have drawn. Now we can use Glowspore, and if we want to get those lands back, we can. There's a Lotleth. Do I want to draw into a land next turn? We're at 5 mana. That's a Bond of Revival. If I go up to 6, I can get up to 7 and potentially play the Lotleth. I guess it's fine for us to draw a land next turn, because we're not on an empty hand, right? We have things to play. So we will swing with the Glowspore, and they're gonna take it. Oh man, and they know we have a Lotleth over here. All right, Evolution Sage coming down for our foe, so not really any interaction from our opponent there. So we can go for a Bond of Revival and get back Lotleth Giant if we want to. If I go, I really need one more land. If I'm being honest, I would like one more land so I can play a Vulture and a Blood for Bones. But if I go Blood for Bones, sacrifice a Glowspore, am I getting back a Gray Merchant just to deal 2? Am I getting back a Lotleth just to deal 4? Or am I getting back a Beanstalk to be a solid body? Well, no matter what happens, we're swinging in first, right? That's for sure happening. They're gonna block with the Evolution Sage. Wow, I'll take it. Now we'll actually deal 5 with that Lotleth if we do decide to get them back. And we could actually go Blood for Bones and deal 6. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go Blood for Bones, sack the Shaman, and get the Lotleth Giant. Return creature to my hand. I think I want the Gray Merchant, right? Oh, it'll actually deal 5, I'm sorry, because of the return. Forgot about that, but that's okay. We could potentially have lethal. How much mana do we have? We have 6, so if I draw into a land, Lotleth is still only going to deal 5. There's no way for us to draw into a land and get a creature into our graveyard and play Lotleth. This is so very interesting. Okay, and our opponent plays into a Nissa. Other than the Evolution Sage, they haven't played too far out of standard. Okay, tell you what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to go double Gorging Vulture, and then potentially next turn finish them off with either the Lotleth or the Grey Merchant, right? I can wiggle something out there, right? Surely I can. Oh yeah, 9 creatures, that's enough for another Lotleth. I'm going to take you and send you at the Nissa so we can take out that island, because they will for sure block that. Yep. So we're cutting them down on the lands. They're very low on health. Honestly, this budget Reanimate is pretty good. Now, granted, it's up against a ramp deck that didn't get to ramp too hard, but we ramped fairly well, and we're into our big stuff. And our opponent, our Simic opponent, only has 3 lands on the battlefield. It does feel good, I will have to say that. Are they going for a big crisis? Potentially. It gives them life. Could potentially get them out of this tricky situation that they're in. We still don't have enough to actually play our Lotleth Giant down. We could revive one, but it'll deal 1 less damage, right? Okay, so they're up to 9 health, which means if I can draw into a land, Lotleth is guaranteed. Ooh, of course. So I can go Grey Merchant and then next turn Lotleth, but man, does that hurt? Could also go Acolyte of Affliction and... Wait a minute. Oh, I still have lethal here. All that sweating for nothing. Okay, so what you do is you just swing all in, right? Of course, they're going to block with the Hydrate Crisis. Yep. But what they don't understand in blocking that Lotleth Giant and sending it to the graveyard is that it deals that much damage. Not that I need that extra damage now that I've dealt the damage from the Gorging Vultures, but it's still nice. So that's going to be a game 1 picked up against Jester. With our Golgari Reanimate. Look at that. Undergrowth making a regrowth in this standard. Alrighty, on into a game 2. Mayala. Mayel? Is it Mayel? I don't know. We're just gonna call him May. I feel like that's simpler. For me, at least. So yeah, Magic. Can I have my cards, por favor? Oh, there they are. Beautiful. And what a beautiful hand, honestly. We, Glowspore into a Gorging, into maybe a Cauldron's Gift if we can, get there with the lands. Don't like seeing a Lotleth, but that's okay. It didn't hurt us last game to have a Lotleth in hand, so. Oh, and we already drew into a land, so we're just 1 away from Cauldron's Gift, and honestly our Glowspore Shaman can supply that, so looking to get things turned online relatively quickly here. Child of Night, that's a card you don't see that often. Seriously, quit drawing me these goddamn Lotleth Giants. Game. Oh, and then you've been a Beanstalk. And an Epic Downfall. I think I always end up binning my Epic Downfalls. I feel like they rarely come into my hand. Ooh, Bloodthirsty Aerialist. That's a card, ladies and gentlemen. That is a card with which it's gonna be very difficult for us to deal. We're gonna have to get some removal up in here somewhere. Well, we do have the mana for Blood for Bones, and now we have the creature. Now it's just, I guess, a matter of rather. Is it worth it to let it live, and then we can get back a Lotleth and potentially start swinging blow for blow with them, right? Or they could just Obnixilis Cruelty and immediately remove my Vulture, in which case, damn. Beanstalk. Sure. That at least gets us to our Cauldron's Gift. Speaking of which, for Cauldron's Gift, is it 3 mana or 4? The Adamant 3. Okay. So we can get another forest down here. That's fun. And then with Cauldron's Gift, we could actually get back, yeah, probably still just a Lotleth if I'm being completely honest. Unless we bend something that I'd prefer over a Lotleth, though I can't think of anything. Maybe a Molderhulk to get a land back as well, right? We have some lands, yeah. We'll see. It'll depend on what Cauldron's gift ends up milling from us and what we end up drawing ultimately. Bloodthirsty Airless getting in that good, sweet, easy 3 damage. Ooh, another one. Boy, oh boy, I'm super excited. You know, this deck could use a lot of great upgrades from rares and all that. We will pay the adamant, yes. Now we only have 5 over here, so if I get back a Lotleth, we're only dealing 4. But it is a solid body that can swing in and potentially trade, so we'll do it. Alright? 7-6, that's nothing your opponent wants to just let slide by, right? They're only dealing 5 damage in the sky. I leveled them down to 18, so we're kinda already a little bit close. If they just swing in with 5 and I swing in with 7, we'll be at the same amount of help. So we'll see if this turns into a race. If it does, we're 1 mana away from getting our other Lotleth. Okay. I'm just sitting here talking out my ass apparently because the opponent has all of the removal in the world, but that's okay. That's okay. I think I go for a Beanstalk Giant. 1, it's more damage. 2, if they remove it, it only makes our other Lotleth Giants do more damage, right? So we're down to 11. This is not exactly the position in the race that we wanted to be. You know, the underdog, the one that's behind. The home team down at halftime. Oh, we're about to take so much damage. We're about to take 7 damage, right? 7 damage. Oh, this hurts. Yikes. We got a Jungle Hollow though, so there's, you know, there's 1 life. Theoretically, if we could get all of our Lotleth Giants down somehow, we could finish them. But I don't foresee that happening. not in time at least. Y'all will have to excuse me just a minute. Alrighty, sorry about that. We'll go Jungle Hollow, gain the life. I really want a Lotleth, but we're looking at death. We're just gonna die here, apparently. Well, tell you what we can do. Tell you what we can do to stay alive. Oh no, that's not even gonna work. Oh damn. So we are gonna be dying here. I was gonna say we can Gray Merchant and then we'll be alive with 1. But not really, because then they Obnixilis Cruelty, or Obnixilis the Hate Twisted us. So we'll call it a good game in a game 2 here. That's okay. May got the best of us, but to be fair, I feel like we could have gotten that game some way, shape, form, fashion. Maybe more removal, or some board wipes. Right? It's kind of hard to find budget board wipes for Golgari, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and move on to game 3 and hopefully pick up another victory. Hoops, gonna be our 3rd and final foe for the day. Looks like we're moving this game to the basketball court. We go first. I don't like any of those cards really to start out with. Wow. Well, at least we have decent lands. I'll keep it for the lands. Get out of here, Lotleth. If anything, you deserve to be in the graveyard. That way I can bring you back with the bond. Oh, hello. Hi. Beanstalk's nice. It'll allow us to get to the Deathsprout, and from Deathsprout potentially to the bond, so we're there. We're kind of there. Oh, they have all the Theros lands. Towering Wave Mystic. Target player puts that many cards from the top of their library into the graveyard. Well, that sounds fantastic for me, actually. You're going to be helping me out a little bit, buddy. So let's get another swamp. I know we have another one here, but I feel like we use more black mana than we do green mana anyways in this deck, so this will be fun. Yeah, hit me with the Towering Wave Mystic, by all means. Devourer of Memory, ooh. Kinda like where your deck's headed. Okay, they got a Beanstalk over there for me. I could just Bond of Revival and get back a 5/5 Beanstalk and bash him, right? That's not a bad idea. I could also save the mana and just go for a or rather, I could just Deathsprout right now. Put it onto the battlefield tapped. Never mind. Comes onto the battlefield tapped. Psh. I could use it at instant speed though, take out their Devourer Memory, but being up to 6 mana doesn't really do anything special for me, so let's do this. It's spicy. It's spicy. So they're going to take 5 to the chin. I don't care if they Towering Wave Mystic me, right? I have another Bond of Revival. Please put creatures into my graveyard. Allow me to play my deck better. Faraka's Spawn, that's not one you want to see. It's not one you want to see. Because that's one that they want to remove, right? You know that works a little backwards, right? Towering Wave Mystic doesn't really particularly work there. That's fine though. That's okay. It's all good in the neighborhood. We are gonna Deathsprout the Faraka Spawn, I think, to get into damage with the Beanstalk. But if we do that, then they just escape the Faraka next turn. No, it costs 6 mana, so they can't escape it. So we'll have a little bit of a leeway room, and it'll make the Beanstalk Giant do that much more damage. So we have 3 green, 3 black. We're split fairly evenly, I'd say. We can get some more swamps down. Why not? And we'll get him for another 7 damage. So our opponent's down to 8 health already. They can't quite escape the Faraka, so that's good. It's good, it's good, it's good. Wow, they're just going ham. So they're gonna select me or them? Selecting them this time. Okay. Is that instant? Sorcery. Sorcery, sorcery, sorcery. It's all a whole bunch of sorcery. Alrighty. Let's do this first, right? This is the most obvious. Yep. That's what you look for, right? That's what you're looking for. Now we can go Glowspore into a Blood for Bones, but we don't really have too much over there. So let's just play our other Beanstalk down, shall we? Now unfortunately they exiled the other one, so there's no getting that one back. Not for us at least. Potentially if they have an Ashiok, I suppose they could. More removal. Ooh. That's a rough one. Or it's Faraka Spawn coming back, right? They could have the mana for it. Sleep of the Dead. Oh, I actually forgot about that. Okay, so they're going to tap our Beanstalk, and it's not going to untap. That's okay. They're going to get in 4 more damage. We're down to 6. Can we survive? That's the question. I feel like they have a little whoopsie with the Devourer. Okay, so if we play Glowspore, we can also play the Grey Merchant and at least gain some life, right? Deal some damage, gain some life, so that's okay. I actually don't want to land. Thank you, though, game. Thank you. So yeah, I'll take a Grey Merchant for 400, Alex. Thank you. All right, so they're down to 5 health. If we can find, well, hell, we don't even have that many creatures in our graveyard. What is this, game? You're just throwing away all my good stuff. We don't even have that many cards in our graveyard, really. I guess we have just been beating them down with the Beanstalks, huh? That's how we've been getting them this game. That's okay, because we can Blood for Bones on the Grey Merchant and deal damage that way, right? Can always Blood for Bones on the Grey Merchant. And what you do is basically you sacrifice it and then you return it to the battlefield. Mind Harpy. What did you... Still no creatures. I'm shocked. I am thoroughly shocked. Okay. So what we do here, then, swing in with everything, obviously. They block the Beanstalk, they block the Glowspore, they block the Grey Merchant. No, they don't block the Grey Merchant. Why would you not block the Grey Merchant? Why would you not block the Gray Merchant? Okay, so I have a very tough decision here, right? I'm gonna go Blood for Bones and get the Gray Merchant back, which would deal 2 more damage. Or I could go for a Cauldron's Gift and try to hit a Lotleth plus another one. Oh no, that's not good. Alright. We're going for the blood. We're going for the Blood for Bones. Sacking the Gray Merchant. Returning the Gray Merchant. We'll turn this one to the hand, and then we can just play this one back down, right? So all in all, not terrible. I don't need to land on top. No, I have plenty of lands down. So what did we get over here? Molderhulk, finally. Something in our graveyard. Look at all these lands and like playable spells. It's crazy. The amount of lands that we have in our graveyard right now is absolutely crazy, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could you imagine if we had hit those? How flooded we would be? Oh. So, also, our opponent's down to 1 health. Hoops. What are you going to do? I'm not going to say they can't get out of this situation, but it is going to be a bit tricky with only having 5 mana. Right? And of course, we have the Bond of Revival, which they don't know about. Can get us back a 4th creature, which can deal that final bit of damage. As long as everything stays status quo. That is. We shall see. They're thinking really hard. Sleep of the Dead. Ooh, that works. That'll keep the Beanstalk Giant down. Let's see, what did they put over here for us? A Gorging Vulture, a Beanstalk. Okay. Oh, that's it. That's a GG. That's a GG, no re. Thank you, Blood for Bones. Have a good day. Nice to meet you. Alrighty, so budget Golgari Reanimate. What do I think about it? It's fun. Boy, it's fun, and it won. It won far more consistently than what I would have thought it to. Now, I will say this, I think it could do for some board wipes, right? I think some board wipes would do it really, really good. Hell, even more targeted removal I think would be okay in the deck. Aside from that, I think it's pretty solid. So everyone out there looking for a budget deck, looking for a fun budget deck, those new players coming into Magic, I highly recommend throwing together a Golgari deck and trying it out. It might be your cup of tea. I do really like the way it plays and the way it flows out in the games. So that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe if you're new here, and leave a comment if you have any suggestions on this video, future videos, or past videos. As always, I will see y'all either later tonight or tomorrow. Peace.